Okay, so welcome everyone. Today we have a special presenter, Anthony Prichard, and he is going to be presenting 1-minute YouTube videos. And this is sponsored by Udify Wellness, and this is just one of our sessions in the Practice Management 101 series. And I know Anthony has a lot to present today, so we will go ahead and turn it right over to Anthony. So Anthony, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself and begin.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction, Rob, and thanks for having me, Denise. I hope that by the end of today's presentation, you'll have a much better grasp for making short educational videos online. And my discovery of this came in my young career as a salesperson. I was recognizing that my job required me to both be in and on my business. And it was hard for me to keep my sales funnel full when I kept working in my business. And I recognized also that my job was going away. It was becoming obsolete, and it was being replaced with these short educational videos. And so over the last 10 or 15 years, I've just continued to refine and simplify this process so that hopefully you could spend just 30 minutes a week to create a great 1-minute video that produces 1 to 2 leads a day for you. Or at least all of these videos together help to do that. And I have an example that I've edited earlier today that I will publish live at the end of this workshop, and then we can all go and check. We can go see if we indeed did make it to the first page of Google for our most valuable keyword by just publishing a 1-minute video to YouTube. And of course, you can multi-purpose this video and use it on Facebook as well. And so that's what you're in for. So I'll just ask for you to raise your hand or to use the thumbs up button on your screen if any of these questions apply to you. Have you watched a video on something before you've purchased it? Okay, I'm getting everybody saying yes on that one. Have you watched a video to learn something? So let's say you needed to know how to do something and you went and used the internet to teach yourself how to do that. Yeah, great. Have you watched a video to learn something about someone? So maybe you're considering a video to learn something about the owner of a business. Have you ever been in a video? You're in one right now. And have you ever made your own video? Okay, about 50% there. Have you been able to justify video in your business and grow your video? Well, if not, I hope that you're able to collect all the components that you need to do that by the end of today's workshop. So here's my agenda. We're going to go into the why. We're going to do some interactive activities, and then I'm going to do this live demonstration. This video is not about editing though, and it's not about advertising, but I do have 2 other workshops that complement this one. This one just really gives you all the information about why you might invest your time in making videos for your business. And it's just as easy as I possibly can make it, where step 1, you record a video with your smartphone. You can modify it if you want, that's step 2, but step 3 is just to upload it. So I'm going to show you how to do that so that you're making the most use out of your time. This is a Venn diagram of the video production industry. And in this diagram, in the old model, you could only have 2 out of the 3. It could be fast and good, but it wasn't going to be cheap. Or it could be good and cheap, like an independent film, but it wasn't going to be fast. And it could be fast and cheap, but it wasn't going to be good. Well, today, after the video revolution, I hope that you're able to see that, yes, indeed, you can have your cake and eat it too. So this is my story about how I discovered the power of video. Behind me, or in this picture here, is a home that I was commissioned to fix and flip. It's 1643 Raleigh Street over in the DU neighborhood. The time I was a licensed general contractor, it was 2007, and I had just left corporate world of telecom sales. And I was working for investors who would fix and flip a home. My goal was to be an investor and to take the money, and this was going to be my retirement. And I was going to do this myself. But for the meantime, I was doing it for these investors, and there I am. and what I did was I went and I got this flip cam. Have you ever seen these flip cams? It was the first time you could record HD video in your hand. And I was like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? And then I just realized, I know what I'll say. I'm already going through these houses 6 times a day anyways, explaining to subcontractors things, explaining to investors what something would cost. I'll just look at the camera as if it's an investor. So I said, behind me is this house. We're like a week into it, and I'm going to take you on a walkthrough. And here we go. And then inevitably, I came across something in that walkthrough that was both educational and entertaining. And the viewer could see my personality with that walkthrough. They could see if I was the type of person that they could consider working with. They could see the type of relationship I had with my subcontractors. They could see how clean my job was. And they could see what level of construction I was capable of. And it happened almost instantly. And in that moment, I realized that I wasn't going to be a subcontractor. I was going to teach people the power of video, because as soon as I published it to YouTube, I got a call the next day of somebody in that neighborhood who asked me to come give him a quote for remodeling his kitchen. And it was $50,000 job. And it just continued to get calls like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so valuable. I just shortcut a whole week of prospecting into a short 6-minute video. And so then 2008 happened. So I got a little nudge because there was no work in that year. And ever since, I've been showing small business owners how to do this for themselves. And the epiphany is that you just do the same thing you're doing every day anyways, and you consider the video camera as a potential new client. So here are some examples of keywords that you can type into Google where these videos will come up on the first page. Now, I do this a lot for real estate agents because they like to focus on a particular neighborhood. So that first example is something that has been recreated over and over again for many real estate agents. But my idea here is that I just want to introduce myself to a large number of people. You know, the sales funnel looks like this. It's big, wide at the top. And you don't get to go to this middle part of the funnel, which is the conversations, until you've been introduced to a large number of people. So if anybody types in any of these keywords, they'll be introduced to me and who I am. And some of these are for clients as well. But you can see this is some evidence here that this actually works. And you can think about what your most valuable keyword might be so that we can use this as an example in this workshop. So here's some statistics that might help in justifying your adaptation of video in your business. So I'm just going to put these up here on the screen, and let you look at them. You know, the biggest determination of your website's relevancy is called quality score. And what determines your quality score is called your bounce rate. I don't know if you've heard this before, but if you have a Google Analytics account, the main statistic that Google Analytics will demonstrate to you is your bounce rate. And if people come to your website and they leave before a minute elapses, then you have a very low bounce or a high bounce rate, 100% bounce rate. But if they come to your website and they stay for 2 or 3 minutes, you have a very low bounce rate, like 40%, which skyrockets your quality score. So what do you suppose could be the number one thing that would increase a visitor's dwell time on your website? It could be video. Just a hint. Okay, so here's the first interactive piece. Who has Facebook? Okay. We're going to make a video using a Facebook story filter. And I'm going to walk you through how to select one of these filters. But once you have one of these filters that goes over your face, you're going to say this script. Video is a fun way to introduce myself to other people. Or you can say who I am and what I do. Okay, so I'm going to open up my phone, okay? And I'm just going to go to the Facebook app right there. And then what happens, see that stories? My face shows up right there and it says story. So create a story. Now, if you need help, I'm going to switch to gallery view. Make sure everybody's following along. Okay, good. Press create story. And then you're going to get this selection at the top. In the top, you're going to want to go to the selfie option right there. Okay, so with the selfie option, you're going to see what comes across the middle as some of these filters: warm, glow, cool. And then in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see a smiley face. And you just click the smiley face, and then along the bottom will be these filters. So I've got this, let's see, I'm going to pick one with big lips. Oh, how about the sparkly beard? I got the sparkly beard filter, so I'm going to say video is a fun way to introduce who I am and what I do. Video is a fun way to introduce to you who I am and what I do. Okay. Go ahead and record your own and show me what you got. This is the interactive component. Oh yeah, Christine's got a cat. Good one. Denise, yeah, she's got that green screen going on. All right, Mary and Julie. Not letting you out of this that easy. Okay, good. Well, that is a great way to create, a 6-second video that could certainly expose your personality to a large number of people. Now, I don't know about you, but the last time I did one of these, 500 people saw my video. And it wasn't even a video. It was just a photo. but I got to be top of mind with 500 people. I think there's a value to that, to staying top of mind with my circle of influence. You know, when you die, you'll print an average, or your next of kin will print an average of 200 invitations. Those 200 people are influenced by you. They trust you and they refer you. So if you can educate these 500 people to what you do and how you do it, you're highly likely to come up in one of their next conversations that they're having, where whatever you specialize in becomes the topic of conversation. And that's how we grow our word of mouth marketing using video. We don't necessarily sell with video, but we can certainly stay top of mind and we can increase our word of mouth marketing. Make sense? Sound good? All right, getting a bunch of head nods. That's great. I'm going to move on. So, in my observation of this video industry, I've really declared that it is the video revolution. 5 years ago, I started working for one of the pioneers in video production in Denver. His name was Mark Camacho, and he had a business called 81 Media International. 30 years ago, he was one of the only 5 guys in Denver who had the ability to create and edit video so that you could send it all over the world. And he worked for major news companies and public speakers because they could market their keynote speech for $30,000 in Bangladesh or Singapore. And the only way they could do that, predictably, was with video. So what used to cost $500,000, that's how much Mark paid for the first video editor, is now free. All that same technology is now free in our smartphones. So we don't have to take out a second mortgage on our homes. We can just start using it because it's in our pocket every day anyways. So why video? Because video communicates fully 80% better than print, text, or audio. It communicates body language. So it means something different if I move my head and then my eyes than it does if I move my eyes and then my head. These are all different subtle cues that the viewer is picking up on. And the more trust you can convey to a potential customer, the higher the likelihood that they'll be willing to hire you for a specific problem that they need help with. And sale is really just a relationship that you've built. So I hope to equip you with this trust building equipment so that you can create more relationships and thereby create more sales. You're also using the 3 main teaching methods: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. They're actually clicking on the video. Seth Godin said that communication is the transfer of emotion. He also said that companies who use this better than their competitors will thrive in the new year. A smartphone is a very powerful mini computer, and video is one of its more powerful capabilities. So here's a slide I put together that demonstrates that everybody in companies, large or small, are able to promote themselves and scale and grow with the use of videos. So say if you're an employee, you can onboard new employees, train new employees. You can also delegate some of your busy work and free up your time so that you can take on more responsibilities. And if you're the CEO or the spokesperson, well, you naturally have a responsibility to communicate to the outside world who you are and what you do, as well as your internal community, so that they can convey the proper community or company culture to your customers. So I felt like this skill of communicating with video that was never taught to any of us in high school or college is now becoming very powerful or necessary skill in order to, I guess, just properly establish our businesses in the digital realm. I've got a video here. I hope you can hear it. But if you have a note paper in front of you, I'd like you to type in maybe some things that are not good about video. Things we don't like, or things that bug us. This is an example of what not to do. And so let's help each other by discussing what things in video we should avoid. Pitfalls.
Hi, this is Gerald Ebert. Welcome to my video blog. This is my introduction, and it's telling you what this is about. This video blog is about becoming an entrepreneur and basically the struggles and everything else that I have to go through to become one. Right now, I'm just a small business owner, and I've been running my own businesses for about 20 years, and I have a pretty good business plan worked out for this one, and I have decided this time to spend all my energy to working on the business instead of in the business, and see if I can become a true entrepreneur instead of the person who works for himself. I have a lot of confidence that I can accomplish it, and hopefully we'll learn something on the way, and it won't be too painful of a process. This is one of the most stressful times of my career because...
Okay. So let's back up a slide here. And I'll invite you to unmute yourself and comment on the things that you didn't like or that you don't think should be a part of your video.
He's just too far away. Can't see his face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the focus isn't really clear because he's got this whole wall space and TV with glare on it and the chair.
Uh-huh. Right.
His dialogue was, first of all, it was hard. It wasn't clear. It was not concise. It went on and on and on and on. And it was a negative.
Yeah.
He was just hard to hear too because he was so far from the microphone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wanted him to get to the point of what he was doing because I was immediately lost. So
Yeah. And I think his video goes on for another 10 minutes in the same demeanor. So I saved you the suffering through that.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else you see about videos that are posted online that are pet peeves of yours or things that you don't like about the videos people post online?
The lighting bothers me if people aren't lit up enough to see them.
Mm-hmm. Me too. It's a pretty easy fix to make sure you've got light in front of your face.
You know, I'm guilty of this myself, but the length.
The length.
Mm-hmm.
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 Keep it short.
Yep.
Keep it to focus to like one topic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody else?
Can we just say boring?
Don't be boring. right? I think entertainment has a, a value. I think it's underrated value as well. You don't really consider that we are in some ways entertaining. And my late great coach, Joe Saba, said, he's a speaking coach. He said, you don't have to be funny unless you want to get paid. So having the ability to express your personality through humor, I think is helpful in creating video. Some of my pet peeves, because I see it all the time, and I think it has to do maybe with the perspective of the video. I mean, are we making this video for ourselves, or are we making it for the viewer? I think videos by nature are more for the viewer than they are for the person making the video. And so the order in which you deliver your information, it's not really for your agenda. It would be for them. It would be for the viewer to filter, to let them filter almost immediately. Is this a video for me or not? And that's why you saw me immediately tell you about what you would get out of this video if you continued to watch it. A lot of things that bug me when people post videos is that they say their name right away. And that's kind of almost declaring that the video's about them or for them. When the viewer just wants to know, what are they going to get out of it? What's in it for them? And so you wouldn't want to say something like, what I want to talk about today is, right? So put that down. Never start a video with, today I want to talk about. Because it's not about you, it's about them. The other thing I noticed is that there's nobody else watching this video with you. It's just you. And Denise might also be guilty of this based on my research of her videos. Starting a video off with, hey, everybody, kind of makes sense, but I don't see anybody else here. It's just me. It's usually just you and one person watching a video. So instead of saying, hey, everybody, like everybody says that, you can just get right to the point and say, thanks for watching. If you continue to watch, this is what you'll get. Or, this video is not for you if. That really helps them weed it out right away. Did I miss anything? Did that stir up any pet peeves of yours? Well, hopefully these things to avoid will help you step forward confidently in your next video. Anybody recognize these two guys? Larry Page on the right and Sergey Brin on the left. They got together 18 years ago in the center of the Silicon Valley at Stanford University. And they said, we think we can fix this thing called the internet. Because at the time, the internet wasn't a very reliable place to go for information. You would go to the internet and type something in, and you might get something totally unrelated to the keyword that you typed in. And there might be pop-ups that continue to come, and you'd have to keep closing them out. And it didn't actually give you a good experience at all. So they started Google. And they said, if we focus on one thing, people will keep coming back. Do you know what that one thing is? A good experience. They knew if they kept giving people a good experience that they would keep coming back. And so, as business owners, just as they are, we should take a cue from these two geniuses We should promise to always give our viewers a good experience. And it's basically, yeah, giving people what they want. So if you haven't made a video yet, the reason probably falls into one of these 4 fears. Because there are 4 fears to making a video: fear of equipment, fear of technology, fear of cost, and worst of all, fear of judgment. How much do you need? And where are you going to put it? Do you have room for this stuff? And how much time are you going to spend learning the technology? Did you know that an audio engineering degree takes 3 years, costs over $30,000, and basically teaches you how to turn the volume up and to turn it down? We ain't got time for that. How much budget do you have? And who's going to manage all the talent and the locations and all these things? Worst of all, what are people going to say? So hopefully by the end of this, you will have answers to these 4 fears as well. But what's the number one thing that people ask when they go to your website? There's a little screenshot of the You Define Wellness website on my phone. I think they ask, whose website is this? And what do they do? And that might just take 15 seconds. So even though you might not use this particular video that you're about to create for your website, you'll have an example. So I want you to set your phone up again, and I want you to say your name and what your business does. It's like a 15-second elevator. Okay? Keep your audios off. Just point the video at your face and say, my name's Anthony Prichard. I fix previously failed online marketing with video. Now, when anybody comes to your website, they'll have exactly what they're looking for right away. And they can probably tell a lot about your personality with that short video that didn't take very much effort to create. They can see your posture. They can see your body language. You can see a bit about your personality. And by giving them what they want, you're giving them a good experience. And when I have a good experience, I like to spend more time in that place. So I think they'll be warmed up to maybe spending a little bit more time on your website. What do you think? Good. Okay, next question. What's the most valuable thing on any website? There's been a few debates about this when I give this presentation to a room full of people. But after I disclose my answer, they usually agree with me. I believe the most valuable thing on any website is a video testimonial. Because people are faced with a pretty big risk when they go to hire someone else that they don't know. Their exposure is, are they going to get a good experience by giving you their big stack of money? That's the risk. This is brand new for them. They might feel afraid of losing their money and not getting what they paid for. So the best way to lower that risk is with a video testimonial. So for those of you that haven't been interacting, I've got one more challenge for you. And this is important because I think it could be the biggest thing standing in the way of you making more money. And The hardest thing about asking for a video testimonial is not knowing how to give one yourself. And I've asked people for hundreds of testimonials. And, you know, these days they're actually a lot more likely to say yes because they're using this every day anyways. So they're a lot more familiar with it. They're a lot more comfortable with it. And whenever I ask somebody for a video testimonial and they don't just automatically say, yes, of course, how can I do that? They say, and their shoulders kind of creep into their ear holes and they say, what do I say? So I say, don't worry. I got a perfect thing for you. It's just a 3-step process. It's called the testimonial sandwich. They say, what's that? Oh, well, there's 2 pieces of bread with meat in the middle. First piece of bread is the who, what, and the where. Who you are, what just happened, and where did it happen. Then the meat. That should come naturally. That's just what you got out of it. And finally, the call to action. What you're going to do next or what you think other people should do next. So, I'll ask you to give this video testimonial for this presentation so far. How's that? So you can say, if I was in your shoes, I'd say, my name's Anthony Prichard. I'm attending the 1-minute video workshop here in Inglewood, Colorado. I've only been in this workshop for the last 40 minutes, and I've already gotten a lot out of it that's going to help me make videos for my business in the future. So if you have a business and you haven't been making videos, I highly recommend this workshop. So there's an example. Okay. The 3-step process, the testimonial sandwich. And ready and go. Okay, you probably didn't know that you were going to be asked to do so many videos today. But I'm a kinesthetic learner, and I really didn't get comfortable with recording video until I started making more videos. I definitely didn't get good at teaching other people how to make videos until I was practicing what I was teaching. And so I really make it a point to give you these interactive opportunities so that you can infuse this new level of communication, this new way of communicating as fast as possible. Because it's one thing to learn about it, but it's a whole different thing to actually do it and to build your experience right here and now and to say, I did that. So now you're starting to build your tool set, your video communications tool set. The technology that is going to help you with this is really Google Drive. And Google Photos is also a complement to Google Drive. Your phone has a limit to how much data it can store for you in the form of large media files. But if you set up Google Drive the right way, then you can upload all those media files right away to a well-organized file folder. And now you're no longer limited by the storage in your phone to how much video that you can capture. Google Drive was the big discovery there in technology for me. It eliminated a lot of time with upload and download. And then there's some video editors you can use. A new one comes out every Monday, it seems like. But these are some of my favorites. And I like these because they're gamified. Have you heard of that term? Gamified. So you just take some photos, you take some video clips, and you select the ones that you want to get edited, select a theme, select some music, and the video editor magically edits them together for you. Now these all have custom controls that can allow you to adjust and fine-tune that video. But when it's fun, like a game, I end up using it more instead of less. So look for those video editors that are gamified.
Anthony, quick question is, which one of those, this is one of the areas that I had a lot of questions on, and I'll just make it one. And that is, if you had to choose just one of them, which one would you choose and why?
I would start with Quick, Q-U-I-K, because it's free. And in my mind, I want to justify to myself that, especially in an entrepreneurial startup type business environment, using the MVP method, minimum viable product, I want to justify to myself that I can be an effective communicator before I invest money in a more expensive video editing tool. And Quick is the most gamified. It's the most free, and it's the most capable to create fun short videos. So if you're an iPhone or an iMac user, then iMovie comes with your computer, and that seems to be one that a lot of Apple users enjoy because it's built off the same operating system that they're familiar with, and that can work for them for a year or two, just getting familiar with recording clips and stitching clips together. And then Video Shop is kind of a generic video editor. There's also Windows Movie Maker for HP users. So I say start free. If it's not easy, move on to the next thing. No loyalty in video editors these days. The equipment you already have. You already have this equipment. Cost, like I just explained earlier to Denise's question, you should start with the free model. I recommend it that way. And worst of all, judgment. Now, judgment is kind of like natural selection. It really doesn't matter what people think about these videos if they were never going to buy from you in the first place. There are 7 billion people in this world. Not all of them are going to enjoy what you create. However, these people were never going to buy from you in the first place, so what does it matter? Our ability to connect as humans has to do with the relativity of our own gender, of our own age, of our own likes and dislikes and behaviors. And when we match up with somebody else who's right in line with those same demographics, we're naturally going to connect and trust each other a lot faster. And those are the only people we need to worry about anyways. So if we enjoy the video we make, it's highly likely that somebody in our demographic is also going to enjoy it, thereby maximizing our time investment in editing this video. So I guess the best way to navigate around judgment is to just love yourself, care for yourself, believe in yourself that you absolutely like the thing you just created and that somebody else is going to enjoy it too. And And when that happens, you'll naturally attract people because you're using the law of attraction, right? You're saying, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is for people who are just like me. At least that's the best way to start. Now, sometimes you find out that a different demographic actually likes peeking in and seeing what you're all about. I've got some massage locations that I work for, and these young massage therapists end up making all the videos because they're the newest ones into the business and they're eager to increase their clientele. But guess who their highest demographic is of their viewership? It's aging men. Well, that actually makes a lot of sense, right? They're the ones that are in the highest need for this type of massage service. And so they're shopping for a masseuse. So even though these young massage therapists are making videos under my guidance for other young females, at least that's who they're envisioning behind the camera, the demographic that's getting the most out of these videos are not other young females. They're aging men. So be open to whoever can get value out of your videos, but start with your own avatar. And that's marketing lingo for your own demographic. Make sense? Okay, this is step 1 in my 5-step formula. First, you want to do some keyword research. I actually did some keyword research. I wonder if I still have my screen up. Yeah, there it is. So I was trying to find the most valuable keyword for define wellness. You define wellness. And I found that wellness provider and corporate wellness were some of the biggest keywords. And this little website right here, lsigraph.com, can be that tool for you. It's absolutely free. And it can share with you some information about these keywords and which one's valuable. But the nice thing about this, here's another one, SpyFu. Is that you can see that they have a regular volume. Okay, 1,000 people search for wellness companies every month. And I want my company to show up on the first page of Google for that keyword. And how can I do that? Well, if you do some of this research and some of the monthly volume comes in at 200 and other comes in at 1,000, well, then you want to make a video for the higher volume keywords because it's just going to get more traction, right? You're going to get more ROI on your time that you invest in making this video. So you know that the video you're going to make is going to be a good result for somebody who types in wellness companies near me or wellness companies in Denver, Colorado. All right. So keyword research, spend the most time on this one. Organize your keywords, get a list of your most valuable keywords and dedicate yourself to making a video for the top 3 most valuable keywords in your business. Now, think about a 4-mile radius around your location if you're a service provider, because that's going to be the easiest for you to rank for. Now, think about this. Again, it's like a pebble in the pond. When you drop that pebble in the pond, you create these concentric circles outwards. So you'll never run out of videos to make because you'll constantly be expanding your geographic area. All right, I am getting close to my time here, Rob, aren't I? Let's see. Whoops. Okay. So here's 2. This is the storyboard. This one's really important. I encourage you to take a screenshot and or notes. this is the biggest thing I find that prevents people from making a video is they don't have a roadmap. So whenever I make a video, I've got to script it out first. I mean, where's my script? I definitely scripted out the video that I made this morning. I sat down, I turn the piece of paper sideways, I draw 4 lines in that piece of paper, and I start writing down what I'm going to say. And in this order, I want to filter out people that are not a good fit for this video. And I want to point out the pain. This was for realtors, unfortunately. It says top stats and sites, but pain is what you want here. So, you know, if you've had a headache, if you've got sleeplessness, if you can't focus at work, this would go in this section here. And then you can introduce your name, who you are, and what you do, and then finally give a call to action. So you'll see this in all the videos that I've published, really, is that I follow this structure. And once you've got that script down, it really helps you tighten up that video and keep it inside of a minute. You can see I've got some time. Now that doesn't actually add up to a minute, but it keeps it less than 2 minutes. And so I can still call it the 1-minute video storyboard. We already went over these tools. Step 4 is the description. So when you upload this video to YouTube, YouTube is owned by Google, the Google spiders are searching for information, and you need to give those Google spiders this information. So over here, you'll see how I did this. This is the snippet. This is the first 2 lines. Are you looking for wellness companies in Denver, Colorado? That's the keyword that I'm going to rank for on the first page of Google. Fingers crossed. And then here's the longer description. Okay. Here's the address and the website. Here are the links to the You Define Wellness social media links. Here are other YouTube videos that I pulled from You Define Wellness YouTube channel. And here are some other resources. So I typed in wellness companies in Denver, Colorado, and I grabbed unbiased URLs that were already listed in that search result query. So let that sink in. Go to the first page results already and put them into the description of your YouTube video, thereby showing the Google spiders that you're a very relevant result. Don't put your competitors in there. You don't want to help them out. But if there's some unbiased results, go ahead and use them as a resource in the description of your YouTube channel. Put in your hashtags, and there you've got it. Okay, so here's my video. I think it's, here it is. So I'm going to download this. Then I'm going to upload it to YouTube. Ooh, I'm coming in right under the gun here. We actually have 90 minutes, so we can go a little over 60 minutes. But I told Rob that my presentation was just about 60 minutes. Time flies, doesn't it? Okay, so then I click this create button. First of all, I make sure that I'm logged in to my account, but you can have access to manage many accounts, as you can see I've been assigned to do. Okay, so you click this create or upload button, and brings you to this page where you can drag and drop. Yeah, and I think this one just downloaded, so I'm just gonna drag it in here. Yep. And I'm gonna change the title to, oh, Denver, Colorado. Now I can set these upload defaults so that it automatically puts these indexes into my description. But in this case, I don't want any of those. I want completely new sets of information. So I'm just going to copy, oops, and paste this into the description. Remember, this is the most important part to getting found on the first page of Google, because it's an index. Google is an index, and it's using the information you give it. And it gives YouTube a really high power ranking because it knows that people prefer to consume content with short educational videos. I even created a fun thumbnail because, there it is. Have you ever seen the suggested videos column in YouTube? It's usually over on the right-hand side. And YouTube videos with a custom thumbnail always perform better. So I just created a thumbnail with the same keyword, thereby giving somebody a good congruent experience. This is what they typed in. They're looking for wellness companies in Denver. Oh, there's a video with the same title and a photo with the same word that I just typed in. That must be exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, playlists. We've got authority marketing with first page results. Audience, no, it's not made for kids. No, there's not an age restriction, but definitely click more options. This is really important. Click more options and go down here to tags. And again, these are my auto default uploads. And so I'm going to want to put in all the keywords. Definitely the title. Okay. So then I say that filling all this out is like filling out an SAT exam. The more boxes you fill in, the better test score you get. Standard YouTube license. Education's the category. Hold potentially inappropriate comments for review. Okay. And then next. So you can add this end screen or these cards, which it's not necessary. It doesn't really help your ranking at all. And then you can, this is a nice thing about YouTube. It can be your legacy for your video library or your archive. You can make this private. So this would be like if you wanted to sell a video, you could collect payment, and then only people that you enter in their email are allowed to watch the video. You can unlist it so that it wouldn't be searchable, or that you could set it public. So this is going to be the link, and we'll just publish it now. And I don't recommend sharing this to these other venues. I recommend just going to our YouTube channel and uploading it directly. So one of the nice things about Google Drive is that I could share this folder with Rob or with Denise. There. So now, in like, 20 seconds, I was able to share these videos with somebody else. Oop. My light just went out. So let me show you something else that I have. It's called it's called Webcam Settings. This is an Apple app, and it lets you change the settings on your webcam instead of just the default settings that your cam came with. So even though my background's pretty bright, you can see my face a lot better. And this is like $6, but it lets you do some nice advanced functions with your webcam. Okay, so we're about 5 minutes over, and hopefully, cross our fingers, that video had had enough time to be indexed by the Google spiders, and we can go do a little search for wellness companies, Denver, Colorado, and see if our video comes up. Okay, so first thing is it thinks that we're after is jobs. Oh, no, we're not after jobs. These are some of the organic listings. Here's the map pack. And
Okay, Anthony, just let you know that we're not seeing what you're seeing because that's not been shared.
Oh, this incognito window can't be shared, huh?
Well, what we're seeing is the YouTube page.
Okay. The YouTube page. Okay, so I just switched to a different browser, but I'll do this one. Now you can see it?
Yes.
Okay. So jobs, like I said, and then this map pack. This whole map pack is controlled by Google My Business or business.google.com. And the more you fill out your Google business listing, the better chances you are. Like in the info here, this is one of the clients I've worked for before. And in the description, you would add your keywords, wellness companies in Denver, Colorado. And that would help you show up in this map pack along with collecting online reviews. Okay, so I don't see the video showing up here. Let me check in the videos tab. Ah, there it is. It just came up. So it is number 1 on videos. Maybe it just got indexed. Let's see if it shows up under the all button. Not yet, but if y'all go and watch it, it might collect some more ranking capabilities. And I did go after a pretty competitive keyword. So when you're doing this, you want to select less competitive keywords at first. And you might want to start in, like, say, Lakewood instead of going after Denver. But my page has some pretty good authority, and so I thought, oh, I'll just go for it. Whether you're going after the most competitive keyword or a lower competitive keyword, you'd use the exact same setup for this publishing. And I have seen these videos show up here, after a week or two, after they've started to collect some of that retention rate. So you probably are wondering what that video. Why don't we watch it now?
You define wellness. It's employer solutions for employee benefits. And if you're a wellness provider or a practitioner, We invite you to join our community, which is a network of healthcare providers and nurses who meet every week to support one another. We say that a rising tide lifts all boats. And so we model good behavior. We practice what we teach. We come together to increase communication about health and well-being and finding solutions for sickness. With well-informed healthcare providers and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're able to make an immediate impact on any company that we become a part of. We hope you spend more time here at You Define Wellness.
How's that, Denise? Did I do a good job?
At representing you guys.
You did a fantastic job. I was not expecting that. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it probably makes sense for me to take it off of my own channel and send it to you because I'm not a wellness company. But I needed to use something as an example right away and to show the upload process.
No, that's fantastic.
I hope that was a good demonstration for everybody on the call here today. I went a little over time, but I feel like it was a fully complete demonstration. So thanks for giving me that extra time.
Let me jump in here real quick, Rod, before you go in. This was fantastic, Anthony. There's a lot of information that you gave us, and the information at the end where we're really starting to pick apart the pieces and how things work is something that I can see that we may want to do a part 2 and make it available. If you'll just let us know what your fee would be for doing that per participant. Let's do it on a fee base. It's the mechanics of it. I would love to have us put that in place. But there's one thing that I want to ask about. I already know what the answer is, and so this is I'm giving you laying it out for you. At the very end, as you're walking down the road, the camera moved.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw a different profile of you. And can you talk about that real quickly, what that is?
Yeah. Thanks, Denise. I invented the mobile studio stick. So if you go to mobilestudiosstick.com, you can check this out. It's like all inventions, created from necessity. And when I was on the construction site, I wasn't going to ask a subcontractor to hold the camera for me while I was recording video. So I found something that would mount my smartphone for me and that would give me the angles that I needed in order to get the footage that I needed to collect. And, at first it wasn't this big long stick like it is now. It was just the bottom, which I'll remove it here. And then I'll attach the top, which is this piece, and it would go on the ladder or the countertop or the cupboard door, or when you're on a construction site, you've got enough things to help you mount your little clip here. I found that it worked great in the car too. I could clip it to the visor and just stick my phone in, and it was right at eye level. So I could talk about what I was doing, what job I was going to, and how I was managing my sites. And it comes with a microphone, because the number one thing to kick that people will stop watching your video for is bad audio. So you noticed in that video that I just showed you that I had really good audio, and it was because I was just using this wired microphone that plugs right into your phone. If you do decide to purchase one, I include 2 hours of my time consulting with you. So I include, I think, 1 hour if you just stumble across my site. But for anyone that attends a workshop with me, I'll do 2 separate consulting hours with you. And that's really even more important than the equipment. I've pitched this equipment several times, and of course, I'm not a manufacturer. I'm not a Chinese manufacturing company, so everybody's always going to be able to manufacture this less expensively than I am. But they can't really duplicate my own background in experimenting with this video communication, which I feel like is very valuable, even more valuable than equipment. But, you know, after you get the equipment, you'll never have an excuse not to make another video, because everything you need is in this one bag. It comes with a carry case, and it comes with even a selfie ring light. So even if you're in a dark place, you'll have everything you need to make a great video, and then it'll always be with you wherever you go. So I've sold over 350 of these. People say they love them, and that's how I justify, you know, these free presentations. And I'd love it if you became the next owner of the mobile studio stick.
Is there a code we need to use to get the 2 hours, or how do we do that? I'm on your website right now.
Yep. Nope. Just use my email, I guess. I'll put it in here. Just show me your receipt. Of course, I'll be the one sending it to you. I manufacture these myself in my garage. And I'll give you a training before, and then it'll show up in the next couple of days, and you can get it and work with it. And then I'll give you a training afterwards so they can make sure you're comfortable with using it, and you'll be set up to go out and capture your next video.
Awesome. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you.
Great presentation, Anthony. I think there was one question in there about Instagram versus YouTube. If you just have a minute to, what's the value of using Instagram versus YouTube?
Well, think about your demographic.
Sorry, it was Instagram versus Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, I think Instagram's a little bit of a younger demographic. I think it's maybe more female than male. And as a creator, you need a few more tools on Instagram to stand out, because there's a lot of creativity on Instagram. And when you edit these videos, you'll want to create a square video or a profile video, which is the long vertical video. Many of these editors come with these different resolution or aspect ratio exports. But yeah, I mean, Pinterest, I guess, would be an older type female demographic. LinkedIn would be an older male demographic. Facebook's kind of like middle-aged men and women. Yeah. Does that answer that question?
So really, it's dependent on who your market is, but Facebook has a really convenient method to create these short videos to introduce yourself and get people to know you and talking about you.
Absolutely. Yeah, sure does.
Okay. And then if you want to go into the other platforms, it sounds like there's going to be more investment in that, those videos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And so, I mean, Denise has offered that, you know, we'll have subsequent sessions. Because I know early on you mentioned something about more information about editing and advertising. So I think people should feel free to reach out to you if they have any questions about that, and if they were looking for services. And hopefully I captured your contact information here correctly on the screen.
One more offer, Rod, is that I would be happy to give anyone a free 45-minute consultation or screen share meeting like this if they just go online and leave an online review. So if they just type in a review by going to, type my name into the Google search engine, Anthony Prichard Communications is the Google listing you'll find. And you can type in a review, and I'll be happy to share a 45-minute free consultation. Of course, also, if you're willing to do a video testimonial, that would be even better. Happy to be at service to you for telling the rest of the world on video what you thought of my 60-minute workshop.
Absolutely.
That's a fabulous offer. Thank you, Anthony. And I think at this point we can, again, this is, thank everyone for participating in this, and thank you, Anthony, for the presentation. And thank you, Denise and Untitled Wellness, for hosting this session. So I think we will wrap up the recording.
Okay.